Good evening, free enterprise fans around the world. My name is Possum Orpheus, and I am honored to have the pleasure to cast the match three between Marten Broadcloak, our 15th seed, and our 47th seed Rexbanner. This being such a hype game three, and I could not think of a better co-commentator to do this with than Free Enterprise and River City Girls legend, Bahamut X. How you doing this evening, Bahamut?
I'm doing great, thank you, Pasu. You are too kind with your words. Yeah, I love Overseer Girls and Free Enterprise. Those two are my two loves for speedrunning. So I'm looking forward to doing a commentary with you on this great race. I'm excited what's going to unfold here.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm not certain about some of these naming schemes, though. I'm pretty sure we've been told that ties are not allowed, and I'm almost certain the movies are never better than the books. So I'm questioning our runners. Are they trying to psych each other out or psych us out? What's going on here?
Look, I guess with the tower are one of the two fans of the movie versus the books, or is that something? Is that like an in joke I'm not familiar with?
I just know that Martin Broadcloak being a character from the Dark Tower, I figure
Ah.
that the book still has to be better. It just has to be. That's how I am about these things. But enough about me. I see we have our runners. They are, like I said earlier, the 15th and the 47th seed. But in a match like this, seeds mean nothing. Rex is basically one of the followers of the Martin Broadcloak campfire. Learned a lot of what he knows from Martin. So it's another student versus teacher type matchup, which we've gotten a lot of in this tournament. I'm looking forward to some really excellent gameplay. Uh, we haven't seen a hero, we haven't seen our objectives. What are you looking for out of this Bahamut? Do you have any heroes you really like or any objectives that you might fear or really look forward to?
Oh, that's a good question. Something I was kind of wonder. I've noticed a lot of these seeds is how soon are people gonna once the moon opens? How soon are they gonna go for the moon? Because I think I know the intent of these flag set was to have the moon be more value, and I think it has been, but not as much as I think as people were hoping. So it'll be interesting to see how soon do they jump it, and how soon they're gonna try to do their grind. But as for Sea Hero, I know it's lots of different options, and like, do we want to make it easy for them and have something that can provide a good agile anchor, or something fast like it's difficult when it's like Kane or Edge. Um, so that's what I'm thinking. What about you?
I mean, for our runners, I know that they're both very well versed in a lot of strange strategies. I would love to see some Edward shenanigans. I know it can't be Foo based on the fact that his picture's not showing up. Looks like we get a tiny child. This is a Leviathan Rydia meta. If you get an early hook, things can happen. So let's see
Oh,
what will happen.
oh, very nice. The self that must be kind of turns Rydia into a little bit of a white mage there early, which will definitely help with the early game.
Yeah, just need a couple of levels, a little bit of MP for this Rydia, and she is going to be able to be the true heroine that this seed requires. Cecil's not going to do much of anything, but if you like wee woo wee woo, this is the seed for Yi Yu Yi Yu.
Well, the toughest thing will probably definitely trying to keep Rydia alive until she gets some levels in her, because she only starts with 30 HP. So that'll be good to get one or two bosses under her belt to get some buffer.
Yeah, the best part about that is even if Rydia dies, because she's the hero, she still gets the ability to gain XP. So she
That is
doesn't
true.
lose out on those levels. So that's fantastic. Our runners both hitting Baron. We see a Tella and also some Dark Imps. That Tella, that's pretty fantastic because she's going to be able to, excuse me, he's going to be able to facilitate AD machine grind.
Exactly. So yeah, if we get Darkness Crystal early, that just blows everything open quickly. Like again earlier, are they going to do grind right away, or are they going to try to maybe get underground before doing that? But you had mentioned this is like a teacher-student type relationship. So, or not relationship, but they know each other really well. So it'll be interesting since they know each other so well that are they going to try to guess what each other is going to do?
Yeah, I figured there's going to be some of that. They both went to the same place to start here. It looks like Rex is going to do a little extra shopping here. Very much, so fond of this shop, and it is a phenomenal shop. Cure 3s, Cure 2s, Ether 1s, Life Potions. You basically don't need to go anywhere else. That's everything you need.
Oh,
Um,
indeed.
but looks like Martin is going to take a stab at Ebling Castle. This is aggressive with this team to try to find something to get them going. Maybe a Leviathan summon, finds a Charm Rod. That's good for Rydia.
Yeah, indeed. I know that tends to be some people's go-to to try to get some good treasure early on. It's that, or I know what I like to do is inside the waterway to check those chests.
Yeah, Watery Pass is definitely a good one as well. A lot of nice pieces of loot in there. Looks like we found a bandana, a power staff, a lightsaber. That lightsaber is going to be huge for our runners once Cecil turns into a paladin. Not going to do anything before that, but great early on, maybe 20 minutes from now once Ordeals is done.
Indeed, some really nice finds, like you just said. So, yeah,
Dig in that black shirt. So we have a black shirt and charm rod. That's plus 15 to wisdom, I believe, for Rydia, which is really going to give those sylph summons once she's got a couple levels. Really going to give her a lot of capabilities. Since that Rydia is going to be carried to the end of the game. She is the hero. She can't go anywhere. Our runners are stuck with her, whether they like it or not.
indeed. And that's like if things go fast enough and they can't come across the Pora Rosa, she can definitely be a good substitute healer with both Sylph and Ashura.
Yeah, Sylph, Asura, both of which are great. Looks like our runners picked up also a coffin and a vampire. Vampire in particular, extremely helpful for the ordeals room, where our runners will have to fight a solo fight, where Rydia does not get help from her friends and has to do it alone. Normally, Sylph can carry that, but vampire, not bad at all to help with it. And coffin, great for any of those non-boss bit enemies that you might run into.
Definitely. Or like if you're really low level and you get underground, crack an egg. If you're really low level, I can help with that too.
Yeah, definitely. If you say you go to Antlion and get a magma key, I could see our runners just deciding, hey, I'm gonna go head on in and pick up that egg and get that coffin and get that 34,000 XP. Could definitely do some work there. And chat bringing up that apple, maybe just throw that on Rydia right away to help keep her alive.
That's a good point. I mean, it's yeah, pretty much. I usually give when I get apples, I give them to Rydia if I have her.
Yeah, either Rydia or Porum. Oh my
Mhm.
heavens. There's a Leviathan summon in the last three chests in the right tower. It is the Rydia and Friend show now, Rob.
Nice.
Yeah, Leviathan, Charmrod, Black Shirt. That is going to be a menace to the overworld, and honestly, most of the underworld too. Looks like Martin is opting to get some levels, most likely, out of the Mist Cave. There's also four chests there. Rex is opting to go to Mount Hobbs, and he's going to approach it from the summon side and see what he gets for this Rydia. That's an alt gauntlet in the Mist Cave. That is not what you want to see.
Yeah, a little, too much, time, wasted for just a little bit of levels. So I can understand passing on that.
Yeah, it's something that our runners are going to be happy to see because it is objective number 5, defeat the Fagul Gauntlet, but not something they want to do right now.
Hmm.
And there's a Golbez in the waterfall. That's also something our runners are not going to want to do now, but thankfully they're also going to have to do it never.
Thankfully. Yeah, because early on, Octomammoth spot is not easy if you try to do it early.
No, it's extremely fast. That's 31 agility, by far the quickest spot on the overworld. So it's not something to be trifled with. Rydia learning Jin, that brings back, thoughts of horror to me because of a particular seed that took about 3.5 hours from the mystery ladder, where Rydia and Jin was your only offense. But
Oh
for our
no.
runners here, they won't have that same concern. Another bandana, so tons of fancy hats for our runners. But looks like we're going to get our first Hobbs check for the character and the boss from Rex, while Martin is launching the hoverboat. We have a Yang and we have an Odin. This is really friendly. Thor Rages can take this out. Rydia is going to get the NP she needs for Leviathan. This is exactly what our runners would hope for.
Yeah, so far the seed has been really easy for the runners. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it later. But one thing that I even learned somewhat recently about the black shirt, because I know usually like the original version, it was glitched that it gave the wrong stat, but I've heard that it's been fixed in somewhat recently, right?
That is correct. The black shirt now actually raises the wisdom stat, which is the stat for black magic, as opposed to the willpower stat, which is the stat for light magic or white magic. So that is definitely a change that's been made for the better, in my opinion. It makes that shirt do what it's supposed to.
Oh, definitely. And before that, I mean, the only real use for the black shirt was, on a Fuertella.
Yeah, since they could take advantage of both stats, it was like, oh, hey, here's a good defensive piece of gear,
Mm.
and it can provide you a little boost in your offense or defensive magic. Looks like both runners now converging in the Antlion Cave. What rude boss are we hoping for here?
Hmm. Oh, it's fun to say, gauntlet, but where have we seen the gauntlet? But we do have a sparkle, so
Ooh.
hmm. Oh, Ogopogo, that's not gonna be easy. That's a good one, unless they can take it out quickly. 'Cause that's a lot of a decent chunk of HP.
Yeah, this is kind of a rough one to find here. It's not going to be able to punch you to death, thankfully. And that vampire high rolling for 700 is very nice. So only need 300 more on Martin's side. This firebomb not going to quite do it though. That's going to set him down to just under 100 health. Kind of running a little low here. A bit of a treacherous fight. Rex is going to have a much easier time with this because of what he has found and what he's gone through and developed. But that Yang is going to do quite a bit here as long as he's cured up.
Indeed, I do want to say, like, no matter where Ogopogo is at, it always scares me, because no matter what your levels are, no matter where it's at, his wave is going to do half your HP. So it's always a little scary, at least to me.
Yeah, it looks like Martin not able to get through that Ogopogo is going to take an early reset there. Going to go up Mount Hobbs, and looks like Rex is off to the races here. He's able to get through that Ogopogo behind the power of his Iridia and his Yang. Gets an Ether 2 for his troubles and says, I'm good, I'm going to save the time, I'm not even going to work out or walk out. That Ether 2 can stay there. And I'm going to go head to greener pastures, and those greener pastures today are Fabul.
Yeah, speaking of rude bosses, one boss I know it can be rude here, especially early on, is Vavalis. So maybe that will be our rude boss.
Oh, if this is Valvalis, the only way through this that our runners have right now is Dark Wave with Cecil. And Lord have mercy, if that is your way through Val, you are in a bad way. We don't want to wish that on our runners. That's not fun.
Well, you were asking for rude bosses, and that is a rude boss.
Yeah, that definitely would be. I'd like to save it for back attack ordeals personally, but here would be okay. We just have more sparkles, a lunar invasion, and there is the jerk bird itself. Well, as if Ogopogo hadn't cast enough blazes on our team, here's another one.
Well, at least that wasn't too bad of one. I know one, since it's a Wyvern, it means it's a random spell, and usually not too bad. The one that can be potentially bad is the I forget what is it, Splap, but basically casts Confuse in all your party, which can be painful if they all connect.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of different ones that are very difficult. You have things like Charm, which is brutal. Beak can be unpleasant because it just stones people. Blizzard because it's HP based. Oh hey, there's a Darkness Crystal. Let me check. We've seen the Gauntlet. Cave Bahamut is an objective. Wyvern has been defeated, so as soon as our runners have underground access, they're in go mode.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you're right there.
Now, Martin knows about the Mist Cave Gauntlet. Rex does not. So it'll be interesting to see if Rex checks the Mist Cave at any point soon. And there is a Tella in Baron as well.
Exactly.
So
So that's your grind.
yeah, this is very spicy.
I would probably think Rex probably will go check this cave. So that's, I imagine that probably happened, especially before, attempting to go to the moon. But it looks like Rex is going to unlock the moon here.
Yeah, this is going to be a peek for information. Rex is going to take a look into Cave Bahamut and see what's there. See if maybe there's a freebie like a King Queen Evelyn. He's also going to check the shop probably and the character. He may skip the shop because of the shops that our runners have already found, but the character check's a big one, and then also the cave value information peek. And our runners are hoping no dupes on the moon as well. They want another character, maybe a Kane to help out, a Palom to slingshot, a Rosa or a Porum would be nice for white magic. So, we shall see, but I would imagine we'll get an ordeals check from our runners after they're done gallivanting on the moon.
Exactly. So kind of wonder, depending on what character is on the moon, will they, especially since we got, potentially 3 out of the 5, well, we have 3 out of 5 objectives, how much will they hunt for more characters?
I think this is the type of seed where you're going to be in 5 characters and grind mode. And it's going to be kind of a throwback a little bit to ZZ3 or Zemus 3, Zeromus 3, Highway to the Zeromus 3, whatever you want to call it. Basically, last year's tournament, where so much of the meta was early Darkness Crystal, early Tella, grind your mages up, and kind of go blow up the seed. This is going to be a throwback to that. However, the difference is going to be the slingshot option is on. The life glitch is off. So our runners are going to have to make very calculated and educated decisions about how they want to form their party and how they want to tackle the end game, because that end game is approaching ever quickly.
That's true. It does look like Martin's going to go back and take care of the Ogopogo.
Yeah, and knowing what he knows now, I wonder if Martin opts to keep the Ether because he knows what is staring at, both himself and Rex, and that will help him with a D-Machine brand.
Exactly.
Well, that's a beautiful slingshot target. But yeah, not a white mage, not a Palom. Oh, it is a dupe. That's right. It's not a slingshot target. So that is not what our runners wanted to see.
I know also another good thing that you can, especially if you're going to go to the moon, unless you decide to reset back to the Earth, is to check the chest, because sometimes you can get a nice item from the chest inside Bahamut Cave.
Yeah, Cave Bahamut has higher tier loot than Earth for sure. So you're definitely going to want to peek here. A big bomb is definitely not bad. Dragoon Helm, if that Cecil turns into a paladin sometime soon, is nice. A Mom Bomb is really quite icky in Value Cave. That is a lot of health, a lot of physical attack, and then 6 baby bombs that are also going to want to physically attack. So I would expect a full grind from our runners before tackling that Mom Bomb. I just don't think there's another approach that really is going to work for them.
Indeed. So we'll see, they'll go back to the Earth and then take out, I'm sure they'll go in, do ordeals and Baron and see see if you get any key items from there, if you get the hook or, Earth Crystal, because I'm sure they're wanting to have at least 1 or 2 more good characters before they start their grind.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the cases where I think a hook might actually be something the runners want more than a magma key. And the reason for that is the hook guarantees another character check, where the magma key does not. You know, yes, Dwarf Castle's there, but it doesn't mean you can necessarily get through it immediately. Whereas with the hook, that is a no encounter needed extra source of a character. So it will be, you know, an interesting path to see what our runners opt to do based on, is it magma or is it hook? Personally, I'm hoping for hook because I'd still like to see something rude there. And maybe we get a hook with a dupe and our runners are forced into a 4-character grind, which would be even more fun.
Indeed. I also kind of wonder the possibility of, like, say they get enough characters, but then, you know, they have enough checks they don't necessarily have to go underground. Will they try to do Earth and then the Moon? And
Yeah,
just skip the underground?
that's also a possibility, but I think with Dwarf Castle being an objective, I don't see how they get away from that. I think it'd be very tough to forego Dwarf Castle. Um, Things you'd want to forego though, this Magus Sisters fight is actually surprisingly rude because if Rydia gets bopped by the reflected magic, she's dead here. Uh, but she's able to avoid it. That Leviathan will go off, and Rex is going to be through. So wins the 1 in 3 to ensure his fate as being on the right side of history in this case.
Some good RNG for Rex for sure.
Well, meanwhile, Martin has picked up his dupe Yang, likely going to peek the Cave of Value as well. We'll see if he loots in there. The only thing really of any note was a samurai shield. There was a duplicate lightsaber, which is good for selling, but not particularly good for anything else. And a big moment of truth coming up. Who is going to be the back attack boss, and will it stymie our runners?
That's true, because there can be, I'll see which one this is. I was going to say one that's kind of annoying at that spot is Plague, but we got Millen 1 here.
Yeah, this with Leviathan is the opposite of dangerous. This is going to be one Leviathan, fight ends, have a nice day. And I guess it's some French vanilla. Yeah, so hopefully now the Ordeal's room is going to be rude. I'm not certain what could be there that's super rude.
That's true, because Rydia's... Yeah, because I was going to say, yeah, Rydia is pretty powerful, so I'm not sure what could be rude for her, which it's, you know, good for the runners for sure, because with Rydia, you know, without all those items is, you know, considerably weak and more potential to be rude in that room.
Yeah, we have Rex getting through that fight with that Mylon and friends, a little bit of zombie dance party. Martin peeking his favorite chocobo forest. Did not find a cursed ring or anything else of value that he would normally like to see. But we have Rex heading on into the Ordeal's room. He's currently up 2 fights on Marten Broadcloak right now, but still early, still a lot that can happen. And let's see what we get for a key item here, and then more importantly, let's see what boss do we get. Well, I mean, I guess that's a key item. I'm not sold on it, but I'm told it exists.
Well, it could, you know, if we want to, like I said, since we have the Dwarf Castle, if the Baron Inn doesn't provide either hook or magma, that would be the next thing to check. So we might be forced into some music here.
Yeah, we might be forced into it. It'd be a shame, but a necessary shame, I guess. Rex gets greeted with one of the few bosses that would be potentially very scary for a solo character, if they weren't as ridiculously overpowered right now as this Rydia is. So he's able to get through that Ruby with very little issue. We have Martin, who it looks like did not have the MP for Sylph. Excuse me, for Leviathan, and is going to have to go with Sylph here. This is a little bit dangerous for Martin. There's going to be a couple extra spells coming out here, and there is Yang surviving, using a vampire. This, oh, he's using Jin here. Okay. At least takes out the back and the front sister, so that's good fortune at least for right now. But he's going to need to get that middle sister down before the rest of them revive.
Indeed. It does look like Rex is going to head to the Baron Inn and get his Tella.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's also a much easier check than the Twin Harp. At this point, the team does not have a lot of physical DPS. I know that Yang is trying, but this team is predicated on what Rydia can do right now. Cecil needs levels before he can put that light sword to use.
Indeed, and so having Tella, even though his spell power isn't as powerful as other white mages or black mages, is still going to be helpful, I'm sure.
Yeah, Tella is basically baby Fusoya or budget Fusoya, and to be totally honest, that's a great place to be in life.
Indeed. So the first boss in Baron, almost. I mean, there's a couple bosses or two that can be kind of rude, especially since it's the first boss, but pretty easy. We'll see what the second one is, which, depending on what it is, can be rude. And it is another Sparkle.
This is actually a little bit strange for our runners and could be difficult because this spot is so slow and our characters are going to be so fast. This is actually a dangerous fight. The Leviathan needs to come out, needs to do in the high 2000s to get Rex through this fight before it's going to be game over. So let's see how big this rolls. 2408, that is right on that threshold of where you would want it to land. If he can get a Sylph off here, I think he's through. Barely gets that Sylph off with 1 second left on all his timers. Plague is a dangerous fight there, so well done to Rex getting through that.
Very nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you can't take them out quickly, then you got to do the dance of killing and reviving your characters.
And there is the hook. And so a fifth character potentially might be able to get a slingshot on Cecil and whoever else shows up on the hook. While Marten is able to get through, Ruby opts for the Sylph route instead of the Leviathan route. Both runners able to get through, no issues on Ruby.
Indeed. So the question is, are they going to fade the harp? Or are they going to go right and, like I said, do the grind and go underground?
You don't touch the harp here. You don't touch it in a million years unless that hook route shows exactly Val. Because you know where Golbez is in the waterfall. We've seen Wyvern. If our runners see Val, that means Magma is through the harp or through Demist at the King Queen spot or through Demist at Magus Sisters. So there's a very limited path in which our runners would ever be doing the harp in this situation.
That's very true.
In my opinion.
Because you get the Dwarf Castle. So yeah, there's, I know sometimes people like to fade it but then they actually do end up needing it. But yeah, in this case, since they can get underground, they have access to the Dwarf Castle objective. So you're right, there isn't a reason to go for it.
And it looks like Rex is going to be peeking the hook. Marten is shopping in Troya. I wonder if this means Marten is also going to give us the music check. And this could be a huge bit of divergence for our runners if Marten opts to follow through with where he has landed his airship. And we do have Ether 2s in this shop. That makes a D-Machine grind considerably easier. And I wonder if having access to those Ether 2s will also drive Marten away from the Twin Harp and over towards Baron to get that Tella.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, looks like that is the case. He is opting to leave the Troya area, is not going to be doing the Twin Harp check. The big difference now, though, Rex has still not checked Mistcave. He does not know the gauntlet is there. So Rex is ahead on progression, but he is behind on knowledge. There's a free boss on the hook route with, I guess, a fifth character.
Yeah, we got an Eddie here. So, I mean, fills it out. You got your 5, but no white mage yet. But, I did notice, at least with Martin having the Shura. So, again, that makes really a substitute white mage if you need it.
Yeah, I wonder if this will drive Rex straight down the hook route or if he's just going to opt to do a full grind now. It'd be very interesting knowing that that boss is free. This is also a very key moment for Rex in this race to see how he wants to go about this. If it's the 4 guards, you can just cough in the leader and just carry on while they kind of bop themselves. If it's the 2 guards, it's a little more awkward, but still certainly doable.
Yeah, definitely. And the only question is that even though that the second boss is free, that first boss, depending on what it is, that first boss can be can be bad.
Oh yeah, that King Queen Evelyn spot is not one to be messed with unless you have decent to good circumstances. You don't want to go in there underpowered or underleveled. It can really get the better of you. Now, having this Rydia the way she is, though, that will help out quite a bit in getting through that. Ooh, there's a second coffin. So regardless of which set of guards it is now, our runners have a path through. So that's huge.
Definitely. So the question is, are we going to get a rude, boss in that first spot, which will definitely help slow our runners down.
So I think that second coffin is driving Rex straight down the hook route now. I think that was the thing he wanted to find, to know that he has a guaranteed route through the underworld as long as he can get through that King Queen spot. So this is where we hope for something like Ol Snake Arms. We hope for something like wow, we've already seen a lot of the potentially rude stuff there. I guess Yang, Karate Man would be kind of rude there.
Yeah, although we do have Paladin Cecil, so that does help. I was kind of thinking Dark Cecil is rude there, isn't it?
That's true. DKC would deal like 5 to 600 a wave there. That would be very rude. You'd have to figure out a way to pull agility shenanigans with Edward and get him to hide, which would also be similar to like if Evil Wall were to show up. So Edward could have a ton of value for our runners, even though we may have been joking about it a little bit earlier.
This is true. Eddie does have his good spots.
Yeah, it looks like we have Martin opting to not loot anything here, so he's going to be shy a second coffin, but picking up a little bit of time by not looting. Rex now heading straight down. This is interesting because I wonder if Martin not having that second coffin will go ahead and decide, hey, I would like to do my grind now, take the team I have, or is he also going to head down this hook route? So I'm very interested to see the route that both our runners take from this point on.
Yeah, I agree. Because I imagine that's why if they can get to the underground, then they have more chances for characters. Because I imagine they could probably go with these characters, but if they have a chance to get more, I imagine, they would probably go for that if they can.
Yeah, I will say for our runners, Kainatsu is not the worst boss to see here. It is, however, the worst boss when it punches Rydia in the face immediately and one-shots her. So for Rydia, she needs to not get punched, she needs to get Leviathan off, and then Tella probably needs to land a Virus or a Lit 3, something like that. Meanwhile, Martin appears to be outside Baron. This may be a Baron manip setup for his D-Machine grind, and that looks like what we're getting. So we have the divergence from our runners here. Martin doing his grind now, Rex deciding I would like to go underground first.
Yeah, we'll see that. We'll see how that works out for our runners. And looks like
Rex.
Rex, he reset out because I was gonna say, like, how much is he gonna try to get through Kainozo or not?
Well, and that's interesting that he reset because I don't know that that wave would have killed Rydia. That wave will deal between 4 and 6% of Kainatsu's health, and even at a max of 6,000, if it does 5%, let's say, you're only looking at 300 damage. So I think Rydia can tank this on average. I would want to have let that wave play out and kind of see where it took me, because you might be able to just cure 2 through it.
That's true. You don't want to necessarily give up right away if the, like I said, the roll is, or not roll because it's based on his HP. Yeah, it could work. We'll see how well he does in a second try here.
Yeah, there's Rydia only taking 328, kind of as expected there, but she is able to live through it. Now it's just kind of awkward because you have 2 people left standing after this punch, but this Leviathan may do enough with a Cure 2 on Rydia to get a second Leviathan out. Might be able to squeeze through this and just kind of play Yang healer and Rydia damage. Though that Cure 2 going on Yang might make this a little awkward. And meanwhile, we have Marten heading into the giant, got his grind fight already. So he's going to be headed on in. Looks like on Rex's side, Rydia goes down. Yang is still standing, but his actions are going to be a little awkward now, and he may just need to solo this with Yang, depending if he has Thunder Claws or Ice Claws. Find a way to get through this if possible.
So he did revive Rydia. Looks like he's probably gonna try to get a Cure 2 off before the wave hits again, but not sure if he'll get it off in time. And nope, he resets out, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like Rex is here for the long haul, though. Gonna stick this one out and try to get through this.
And I think he would have had it if he had put that Cure 2 on Rydia.
Yeah, I think so as well. He would have been able to get a second Leviathan off, and I think that would have been good enough to get through. We have Marten remembering one of the key pieces of the D-Machine grind, which are Tella in the middle. So his weeks don't miss.
That's so true. And yet, even with the center, I've had him miss occasionally still, even with him in the center. But you gotta have him in the center for sure.
Yeah, as long as he has at least 10 wisdom to go with, and in this case he's at, I want to say that was well more than 10 on Marten's side, but as long as you have at least 10 wisdom center slotted, he can't miss. So that's something we'll see how it goes for Marten here with this fight. But I would expect no misses from these weeks that he's going to get out. And looks like Rex has 4 characters making it through, opting for Sylph. And this should get everybody healed up pretty well on Rex's side. More health restored than the wave's going to do for damage now. So I think Rex is going to have this under control, and then it's going to be on to the guards, whichever flavor of guards that is.
Right. I think you said that Rex does have the 2 coffins, so right, so that it should be no problem for which boss it is.
Yes, Rex has both coffins, so if it is a Kaipo guard situation, you just coffin the one in the back, and then the 3 soldiers kind of do their thing. But if it is the 2 guard, the Baron guards, you can just coffin both of them and be on your way. So either way, Rex is going to be set for the second half of the hook route. This just happens to be the hook route portion, the King Queen Evelyn spot that kind of tripped him up.
Gotcha. And that's good to know about, we said about Tella earlier. So when I had it miss, I must have had Tella too low of wisdom. So that's good to know. Today I learned.
Yeah, I mean, every day is a learning day for Free Enterprise. Doesn't matter how good you are, how bad you are, how whatever you are. Every day is a learning day in this game.
Oh, definitely. and Rex was able to get through Kainezo, and yeah, I imagine he's not going to go and save him because this is going to be easy no matter which two bosses this is.
Yeah, I like this. It looks like this is the easier of the two fights, honestly, because you only have one enemy really you have to worry about, and it is just that back officer. Once the officer is taken care of, everything is good from there.
Indeed, and then you can save that coffin for another boss or for cracking an egg.
Yeah, definitely can use it for cracking an egg, or any number of other things. So we'll see. It looks like he is opting to save the coffins, maybe holding them for a different purpose, and gets Tella to be the hero of the people. Hits the stone. Fight is over. Well done, Tella and Rex. Underground sub 40 minutes, not bad at all through a Kainatsu at the King Queen Evelyn spot.
Indeed. And over with Marten, he's continuing his grind. So I'm just going to be doing it for a bit. Since we don't have 10 key items, I wonder how many missions do you think he's going to do? Maybe like 10 or 11, you think?
I honestly have no idea. Because Marten may look at this as I'm in go mode, so I need to do, let's say, 20 of them or 24 of them. Whatever he thinks he needs to get for Nuke, he may opt to just grind straight to Nuke right now with this party. That would give you a very beefy Cecil who's going to get a slingshot, a very beefy Edward who's going to get a slingshot, because they're both going to get about 2 million XP off of that. Yang would have a ton of health, probably in the 4,500 range. Tella would probably end up near the 1,100 HP range. So if Marten opts for the full complement, I mean, you're going to see some absolutely ludicrous levels on Marten's side, but he may just be saying, I'm going for broke, this is my party, I'm going to make it work. Whereas Rex is taking a different route, largely predicated because he has not located that gauntlet, which is in the Mist Cave. Marten knows about that gauntlet, Rex doesn't.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So interesting, different information that the two racers have. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and I think that's why we might end up seeing, Marten go for, it could be 25 D machines that we see here, because you need 1 million XP for Rydia to get to Nuke. And 25 D machines at 40,000 apiece is exactly 1 million. But
Gotcha.
hey, there's half a forge in the Fame March.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. So that's another potential key item or objective there. So I'm really excited how, this is going to happen. Like, is Rex going to eventually going to go back out and get his grind, or is he going to maybe defeat a couple bosses and see if that's enough to go to the moon and start, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think in Rex's case, you might end up seeing him go for a lot of different checks than what Marten's going to do. Marten's going to be looking to basically do Dwarf Castle, Mist Cave, Cave Bahamut, and Zeromus. And that's it. I don't think Marten's going to deviate from those checks whatsoever. For Rex, I think we might see him do Dwarf right now, or very early on anyway. And I think you might then see him take a sneaky tower check. You might see him do Twin Harp for the other half of Forge. Might see him, go through and do Sheila 1. There's a lot of different checks that Rex has on the table, just simply based on that Mist Cave check. What I can tell you is Antlion at Leviathan is not one he's going to do.
That is definitely not an easy spot, especially with your current levels.
Yeah, thankfully it's not required regardless, but man, that's a gross gross fight there. So very happy for our runners they don't have to tangle with that antlion.
Indeed.
And on Marten's side, we see him doing D machines with a little bit of a twist from what you'd normally see. He is opting to kind of alternate between attacks and also Sylphs. The reason he's using Sylph is because he's able to heal up his party. So this is very heads up for Marten to be able to get the damage on the D Machine plus the healing from Sylph. And he's looking to kind of make the best of both worlds. So very heads up, good party order as well for Marten to get that all to fire off correctly.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times. That is definitely a pro move. And since we don't have the life glitch, it's probably easy. You don't have to worry about timing it and or trying to be as efficient with the time as you can. So yeah, very very cool.
It looks like, yeah, Rex has everything he needs except the knowledge right now. So he's
Mhm.
going to hit Dwarf Castle. There's a couple things in Dwarf Castle that could be a real boon for Rex here. The first is a White Mage. The second is an Edge. There's those two major things, and the third, of course, being the Adamant Rock. So those couple of things, if Rex finds any of those are going to be fantastic for him. That Dark Elf is going to melt to the lightsaber as well that he has.
Yeah, definitely. So because you said that Martin's the only one that knows about the Mist Cave, right?
Correct. Yeah, Rex does not have that knowledge yet.
So yeah, with him behind on that, but if he, like I said, if he gets adamant here, that puts him not needing to necessarily check for Mist Cave. So and we'll put him back into equal footing, unless once he's done here, if he does go check Mist Cave soon.
Yeah, the big difference also here, though, I guess one of the potential downsides is by having the Cecil gain levels, he's going to lose the slingshot option on him. Whereas Marten is going to have a Cecil that, if he grinds to nuke on Rydia right now, that Cecil is going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 health by the end of it, maybe more. It's going to be absolutely disgusting how OP that Cecil is going to be on Marten's side if he goes fully to nuke here. As we kind of pointed out earlier with that lightsaber, yeah, Cecil is mistreating that Dark Elf and the Dragon form, and that fight is over nearly as quickly as it started.
You have a good point. I think unless Marten doesn't feel like he needs to get nuke, I could totally understand he would get all of his levels because after that he's just going to wipe everything and be able to go to Zeromus.
Yeah, definitely. And I see you are in Dwarf Castle today, and there is a White Mage along with you. So Bahamut hanging out at the Golbez spot, and that is Rosa, and that is a slingshot target if I've ever seen one.
Definitely. Yeah, but fortunately, I would be able to be taken out pretty quickly here with low HP and overpowered Rydia, so this would be no problem.
Yeah, and it looks like Rex saying, oh, I need to preserve this slingshot. Let me kill off this Rosa real quick. And I'll figure out what I need to do later. But it might just be a situation here where Rex decides, hey, I'm going to do my D-Machine grind. I'll get Rosa up to the level she needs and just go power couple on Zeromus, which may end up being an easier route ultimately than what Marten faces. The big question is, can Rex make up the time difference? Because yes, he's ahead on objectives and progression, but that knowledge piece, that Mist Cave, can he make up the time that he doesn't have for that? And part of that may also come down to what his key items are.
Exactly. We'll see what this is.
Everyone asking in chat, is it the Adamant Rock? Is it something different? And for Rex, it is a rat tail, which, if we're following the vanilla game at all, we know what's about to happen. Let's see.
It's true. So there's still a chance for Adamant for Rexbanner here.
Strength rings are nice in that shop as well. Definitely would pick up at least one. It looks like Rex is going to pick up two here, and I like this play. Get the strength rings for your Yon, get the strength rings for your Cecil as well. He's probably looking at more Berserker strats now, having this Rosa, than he is what's going to be some weird Iridia and Friends style fight on Martin's side.
Indeed. And it looks like he is going to go say hi to Yang.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense to go say hi to Yang here. You want to check that freebie. Again, in Rex's case, he's working under the assumption that he's looking for Forge more so than he is the Gauntlet. If he were to find the Gauntlet, he would be equal parts happy and sad. He'd be happy because he'd be in go mode and sad because it would have been there the whole time. If he finds Adamant, he'll be just plain happy. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a couple of chances here. Sheila 1 and then the Rat Tail. So I imagine he's going to check those, and then we'll see if he goes to remembers Mist Cave, and then once he feels like he's done everything he can, he'll probably go and do his grind.
And yeah, for Martin, we have a bit of a situation boiling here.
Oh no!
Everyone's dead except for Yang. Yang does not have the best agility right now. Thankfully, the dragon is weak. I think Martin's going to be able to save this. Okay, he saves it. That would have been not good.
That's a way of saying it, yeah.
The kind of iffy thing now is that his party order might get thrown off by this. And he had a really good party order. You can see that Martin, his menuing is not what it was a little bit ago. Very tentative menuing right now to regather himself, and that is totally understandable because that was a lot of D machines that would have gotten away from him there. So very happy to see him just kind of relax a little bit, take a moment or two to regather himself, get this Asura up, get everybody healed. Great job saving that, getting restabilized, while Rex is able to pick up a Magma Key from Sheila 1, so not the value he was looking for there.
Indeed. But he does have the hook, so he can go and check the Rat Tail as well. And but yeah, happy for Martin. Take a deep breath. I'd be freaking out myself because I've had close calls before. I'm like, whew, okay, I'm alive.
Yeah, that's one where that got a little more interesting than Martin ever wanted it to. But we are getting a Rat Tail check here. That's the Luca key. So Rex is finding key items. He is locating things to do.
But is he going to remember to check the Mist Cave? Mist Cave is still there.
Yeah, it may be off the radar, and he may not check it until he finds Mist and is he may say, I would like to grind now. He's going to the moon for something. Maybe setting up a slingshot for Cecil and Rosa. We'll have to check levels to see where his Cecil's at. We know his Rosa is in slingshot range, but he might be doing this to try to get something else set up. Maybe take a set of gold dragons, get 60,000 XP on his characters that are not Cecil and Rosa. We shall see. Maybe he attempts a behemoth. Lots of different things he can do to try to set something up here, but my guess is the reason behind this is solely driven by slingshot purposes.
Gotcha. I was going to ask that why he would go in here first before doing slingshot.
Well, this is going to be really awkward though, because his Cecil is his highest level character. This is going to take at least one fight, maybe two, to set up. But moving that stop spell up tells me that Rex is going after gold dragons. He's going to try to stop them in place, weak them down, and then before the end of the fight, kill off Rosa and whoever the other person is he wants to slingshot. Could be Yang, could be Cecil. This is not a gimme though. This is tough to set up. Martin is done with his grind. Looks like he has level 48, I want to say, on Iridia, but he's got all the levels on Cecil. That's a level 60 some odd Cecil. He's got enough levels on Yang So it looks like Martin has decided I'm good where I'm at right now. I'm gonna need a little more. Maybe he goes after the elements spot. Maybe he just opts for um, other things. I don't know. Edward has 1900 health. I haven't seen that in a hot minute.
Yeah.
So shout outs to that.
That's a good point. Unless he's happy. No, he's good. No, he's not going to take more. Okay, because I mean, it does make sense. At least check the element spot, especially if it's a freebie.
It looks like Martin is saying no. Yeah, he might be going after trap chests here, though. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to find the last arm chest and try to spike a nice piece of shiny metal for his Cecil. And I don't hate this at all. He's going to need to get something going here for that Cecil. Meanwhile, Rex is able to kill off Cecil and Rosa, but yeah, that Cecil is still a long way from being able to be slingshotted. So I think for Rex, he may just want to go ahead and do the grind right now, because this is going to take a little bit still to set up for the slingshot on Cecil.
And Martin did find the last arm, and let's see if he gets some. And he does get the shiny.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Martin RNG in full effect, y'all. That's a crystal sword. That's why you do it, and that's why Martin is the man with Martin RNG. We often joke that somehow he has sold his soul to the devil for this good luck. But boy, howdy, does he have it, and does it come in handy in spots like this.
Definitely has it in spades, and not just crystal, just in general, especially early treasures for Iridia. The seed has been very nice to our runners tonight.
Yeah, very nice to our runners indeed, in different ways. Rex presented with a lot of loot to help him get through the hook route, trying to set up this slingshot. I think he might be one level off now. Yeah, one level off on that Tela, so he needs to get one more level on that Tela to get him to 33, and then he'll have the power couple. But Martin is sitting on a level 60 Cecil with a crystal sword. I don't know that you need anything else to win the game.
Yeah, I'd say he's set up pretty good to go and clear.
I guess Tela, Cecil hit stains. You have a Yang with 4,000 health who I think becomes your de facto Rosa, and you just let him with a stack of Cure 3s be your healer, and you just kind of go from there. Like, I think Martin's path is pretty clear at this point, and largely in part to that crystal sword.
Oh, indeed. I'm sure seeing that probably made him think, oh yeah, I don't need nuke. I'm good.
Yeah, and he might get to nuke anyway, but it's not going to be needed. Meanwhile, Rex is going after the hairdryer's chest, as we affectionately call them. Looks like he's going to still be trying to get this slingshot set up. Needs one more level on Tela in order to get this to happen.
I imagine since he is trying to set that up, that slingshot, then what he does do is the machine grind. Hopefully the whole idea is to have to do fewer D-machines.
Yes, the idea is to do exactly half. And the problem here is because all of the hairdryers took their turns, they buffered the Leviathan cast. And so what happened was the Leviathan cast went off before Cecil was killed, and that just kind of made it really unfortunate for Rex, where he wasn't able to have the situation he needed to get that extra level with the 30,000 experience you get from this chest. So the turn buffering and how it works here really got the better of Rex there, unfortunately.
Mm.
And meanwhile, Martin already threw this Kainotso. I would say that went a little bit easier and a little bit better than Rex's attempt did. But Rex now is going to be through this hairdryer chest as well. So his slingshot will be set up at this point, while Martin is taking on the guards to get underground.
Which will be no problem. He doesn't even need to do the. He just, whacks away at the officer there. But I'm kind of thinking, even though our two races are kind of doing different strats, I would probably say Martin is in the lead right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think Martin is ahead, but if Rex checks the mist cave, then he's not as far behind as we might think. But it really comes down to that check or finding the second half of Forge. That's really what it comes down to now. And it's crazy to think, right? Of everything that could decide a race or help determine a race. Harumph, our wonderful restreamer, along with Infinius pushing the buttons in the background. They have given us Gauntlet at Mist Cave to help determine a way into the top 16 of a tournament. Like, it's just crazy to think about it like that. So huge shout outs to, our behind the scenes folks for giving us everything that we would want and more, and putting our runners on a clock and making them hit that panic button. And, again, couldn't think of a better person to be able to do the comms with for this race than you, Bahamut. It's a pleasure, and I'm glad we get to call this panic mode race.
I like that term, and thank you. It's been a pleasure being commentary with you too. It's I'm loving the seed. Like I said, the panic button. I love that because they both can tell it's a jet seed. They're worried about the other player, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely been a blast, and make sure that you give your runners on screen as well a follow if you haven't already. Rex and Martin, some of the most amazing streamers in the community. Both of them do a phenomenal job streaming multiple times a week for your enjoyment. So make sure you give them a follow. They're putting on a heck of a show for you right now. And let that continue, not just during this race, but give them some love beyond. And so Martin has done his grind. He is underground. He's going to Dwarf Castle, and Rex is just starting his grind now. So we'll see what levels he comes out of this grind at. I apologize, Bahamut, for cutting you off there. Go ahead.
Oh, no worries. I was just gonna give you props. Talk about follow the races. Give Pasu a follow here too. He streams a lot and wonderful streamer. So give him some love too.
I appreciate that. Everyone in this community is so fantastic, and if y'all aren't already a part of it, join the Discord. Wow, Discord. Don't discard any of this. Join the Discord. Become a member of the community yourself if you aren't already. Come run with us. Come do races. Come just hang out. Talk to folks in the newbies channel and the general channel. A lot of great places that we have for you to learn the game, ask questions. Even if you're not a serious competitor and you're not looking to get into the racing scene, but you just want to be a part of it, absolutely come and do that. We would be more than happy to have you.
I definitely agree that the community is wonderful. So yeah, do not discard the Discord. Join the Discord.
Definitely. And speaking of discarding, something you don't see often, Martin discarded Rosa.
That's interesting how sometimes, usually when you come across a person or an item, you don't pass on it, like, especially like a Rosa or something like that. But when you got everyone leveled, there's no, it'd be actually a disservice to yourself if you pick up Rosa. Another one I've happened is, like, if you get Earth Crystal really late, and you have everything you need, you don't check the treasury because you got what you need, which is really weird because you almost always check that. But if you're good at the end, there's no reason to check it.
Definitely. And I do wonder if, in Martin's case, is he even going to turn in this rat tail? Like, is he going to turn it in and be like, well, maybe this is the pass? Is he going to do the Sheila 1 checking out for a pass? Or is he just going to head over to Mist Cave and then head up to Cave Bahamut and then head to the final boss? It's very interesting to see what Martin's routing is going to be here, if he throws any kind of auxiliary checks in, or if he's just going to beeline objectives from here on out.
I'm kind of wondering, because the panic mode, panic button, it's probably just one track. Hey, I got my pass, just gonna go straight through, get to Zemus. So that'd be my guess.
Yeah, I know why he's stopping here. He wants a stack of Cure 3s. He's going to turn this Yang into the chemist of the day. If I remember right, Cure 3s were here, and yeah, he's going to buy. Looks like he's going with 20 Cure 3s, picking up 7 Ether 1s. So that's a nice stack of 67,000 gold coins thrown the way of that Baron shopkeeper, who is very happy that our runners are paying him all of that money.
And that should be plenty of Cure 3s, unless Zormos doesn't. If Zormos does a lot of damage, a lot of big bangs, but I'd say he should be good with that number.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It looks like we have that Mist Cave dive. I don't know about you, but I've never seen a larva take 5,300 damage from a Crystal Sword swing. I've also never seen a Harp deal 300 damage, but that's because I normally don't have Edward in my party.
Indeed, yeah, it's interesting when you take on low level monsters with the high players or high level players. I'm kind of doing that, just the Pixel Master Final Fantasy IV, doing some grinding with getting summons, and it's interesting sights, seeing doing massive damage to low level monsters for sure.
Definitely. And it looks like Marten got tired of people clogging the queue. He said, Edward, I need you out of it so I can kick things to death with Yang. Also something you don't normally see in Free Enterprise or anywhere.
Yeah, kick. Well, Yang using kick, that never happens.
Usually you see kick to trigger D machines. Here we're seeing it to actually be like black magic. Fantastic.
Wow. I see it, yeah, doing like 300 plus. Yeah, you never see that with kick.
It's great. I love it. We're seeing 1900 HP Edwards. We're seeing kick used effectively. We're seeing Marten, who has now completed objective number 5, the Fabul Gauntlet, just one objective away from his go mode. We're seeing a lot of real fun things.
Indeed, yeah. Definitely some things you don't normally see in races and seeds, so I'm liking this a lot. And Rex is continuing the grind here, so hopefully, since he did set up the slingshot, I haven't been counting how many, but if it's going for half, I would think he'd be close.
Yeah, I would imagine he's got to be getting close as well. I guess we'll find out fairly shortly. But looks like we have Marten, who has decided to get his party in the order that he wants it in. And I'm still just astonished seeing the number 6 and the number 1 next to Cecil's name. But looks like he's going to go head on into a value cave and take on the Mom Bomb down here. I believe Marten also peeked this, so I think he knows it's a Mom Bomb too.
I think so too. I know they both at least went to the cave, but if you're going to go to the cave, you're going to check the boss. There's no reason why not to. But that's true with Cecil being 61, and it's a very good thing that he's not the hero, because that had to be a very high agility.
Yeah, that's definitely true. He would be at, honestly, I don't know, mid-30s, high 30s. I don't know what Cecil's agility is at that level. I have no earthly idea. It would be a lot, though.
Yeah, I would guess upper 30s. But I don't know either. But yeah, usually you don't get Cecil that high.
Yeah. And yeah, as Chad is pointing out, Mom Bomb is a really rude boss here. Cecil's even ruder.
That's the key. I want to be ruder than the boss.
And to explain slingshotting to folks in chat, and thank you so much for asking that question about slingshotting. The way that it works is as long as you have 2 characters who are 5 levels or more below the third party member, aka the median party member's level, they will be able to get double experience. So when Rex was going through and setting up his fight, he needed his Tele at level, I want to say it was 33, to get his Cecil, who was level 28, a slingshot or double XP. So that is what that slingshot is. Double XP is very important, so you can make sure you get everything you want for your party. And speaking of everything you want for your party, Cecil dealing 7,800 to Mom Bomb. Mom Bomb falling over. That's objective number, 2, complete Cave Bahamut, and gets an Excal for his troubles. I guess that's a nice shiny sword for Rex, but Martin already has a nicer, shinier sword.
Very much. But at least, when Rex does go on to Bahamut, if he doesn't check the last arm chest, not as good as Crystal Sword, but Scowl is still pretty good, especially with the slingshot of Cecil.
Definitely. Definitely. But I think we are about to see Marten Broadcloak take a walk down the lunar subterrane. Chat is on it today. Very antsy. They're about 3 or 4 minutes ahead of the pace right now. I think y'all need to calm down a little bit. We are nowhere near there yet, folks.
He's got to traverse the subterranean here first.
Oh yeah, we gotta check who this duplicate character is. We gotta go down a bunch of floors on the lunar subterrane. We gotta save, make sure our final party preparations are in order. Relax, chat. It's okay. I know that the runners are hitting the panic button, but y'all don't have to also. It's okay. Calm down. And also insert Spider-Man meme where Yang is pointing at Yang.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sometimes when I have Yang in my party, I like to check, Sleeping Yang with Yang. Exactly. Hi, myself.
Definitely.
And it does look like Rex is done with his grind. So we'll see then what he does. If he check that chest or is he going to check Mist? Because he still needs either the Adamant or checking that Mist cave.
Yeah, and I think with Rex, I'm hoping we get that check for Miss Cave, but it'll be tough to see. Martin is taking an encounter.
Maybe he does want nuke for Rydia. Otherwise, because he's got good levels, but he must be wanting that nuke.
I wonder if he also has maybe he has a ninja hat. I haven't seen it in his inventory, but if he can get Rydia to 25 agility and put a ninja hat on her, she would get to 28, which is a very good break point. So I wonder if that might be part of what he's going for also. I have not located a ninja hat so far in our runner's travels, but maybe that's just something I missed.
Gotcha. That's a good point. Do the Warlocks drop ninja hats?
They do not, but if you just happen to have one, you can just put it on her and go from there. Meanwhile, Rex found our element spot boss. That's 65,000 health of Valvalis, and I believe that is a heck no from Rex. Also saying no to the trap chest, so not going to have that crystal sword either.
Yeah, that may make Mom Boss a little bit harder, but we'll see. See what Rex's next move is.
Yeah, looks like Rex he has a level 50 something Cecil, level 50 Rosa. He also has the levels he needs. Even if you have just a light sword, you'll be fine. Once he does Value Cave, we know he'll have an X-Scal. It's not a crystal sword, but it's still a darn good weapon.
Mm-hmm. And it does look like he's going to the moon. He's not checking the Mist Cave. I was going to wonder, could there still be a chance for checking Twin Harp because he hasn't seen Mist Cave? But I imagine, my guess is he's going to do Bahamut here and then maybe take on moon bosses since he's up here, be my guess.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good shout as well, Bahamut, because he's going to do this cave here, get the Mom Bomb taken care of, have the X-Gal, and that's going to drive him to the moon. Yeah, it looks like we have that ninja hat on Rex's side. I don't think we have it on Martin's side. But I think chat is finally onto something here, and I will, I suppose, acknowledge their flags in chat. Bahamut, what are those flags for?
The flags are for one thing in this wonderful free enterprise is that since we can't randomize Romus, we do randomize his sprite, and it's a wonderful big database. And so, what is the question that we say at the end of the race here?
Yeah, well, I think the question tonight is going to be a little different than normal. It might sound similar, but it's going to go something like this. Whose harumph are we gonna thump? And is it cute? And does it have a butt?
When I see, Zero Spite, I'm always looking for my very most favorite Zero Spite sprite is Sabu Kumas from River City Girls. That's what I always hope for.
That's a really good one. My personal favorite is Hahahamas. I love Tidus so much. For all the wrong reasons. But just seeing him laugh makes me laugh, even though it's the worst and best voice acting in Final Fantasy history.
Indeed. I don't think I've seen that one, so okay, I'll hope for that one too.
Oh, is this Maleficent?
I believe so. Malfimus. Some of these are hard to pronounce.
That's a mouthful. Malefimus. We'll
Malefimus. Say that 5 times fast.
No, I can barely say it 1 time fast. Very nice sprite, though. Always great work from Scala Kitty resident artist and free enterprise aunt extraordinaire, admin extraordinaire. Great work as always. Yeah, Malefimus. I like it. It's hard to say, but I like it.
I do. And looks like thankfully Rex was able to take out Mamba before he explodes, so that's good. And he gets to get his X-Cal, beef up his Cecil a little bit there. Not Crystal, but again, with the levels, good enough.
Yeah, it looks like Martin had probably the worst possible target take the counter nuke there. You didn't want your Berserk caster taking the counter nuke, so I think we're going to end up with Rydia here bouncing nukes and Cecil just whacking away at Zeromus.
That looks like it, yep. And Rex is gonna take on the moon, probably start taking on the bosses, trying to find that adamant.
Yeah, and I don't hate the play from Rex's perspective. It's one of those where you now have power overwhelming with that X-Gal. And why not? Why not go after all the moon bosses? But meanwhile, Martin, Cecil, 6,000, 7,000 plus damage. With the bounce nukes, like, he's even zerking up Yang. He's saying, I don't need any safety. This is go time.
Go for broke. But I'm also thinking, Rex, not just finding adamant, but also lots of boss checks for that Fabo Gauntlet. So it's, without knowing about Mist Cave, I can see this being a smart play.
Yeah, definitely agree. In Rex's shoes, I think this is absolutely the correct play. It's just sad to see that silly Fabul Gauntlet hanging out in silly Mist Cave is going to be a real determining factor in this one.
Indeed.
But you got to give credit where credit is due to Martin for making that check. You take the time to check it, and that's an investment that you are committed to at that point. That you're spending 15 or 20 seconds, and in races as close as they have been lately, that could decide a race.
Most definitely.
We have the Cure 3s flying out. On Martin's side, keeping everyone healthy, we have Leviathan flying out, trying to knock down this Calbrena doll, or rather these Calbrena dolls. Edward hiding, doing what he does best. And the dolls are down on Rex's side.
There's Earth Crystal with Rex. I would probably imagine... Is he gonna... Oh, he's gonna go check Earth Crystal. Okay. A little surprised. I figured he'd maybe take out more of the moon bosses, but Or not sure what he's doing.
Just opting to exit out, but it looks like while Rex was doing that, Marten Broadcloak has defeated Malefimus. No rocks needed, just murder on Martin's side from Cecil and friends. Marten Broadcloak moving on to the top 16 with an official time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 52 seconds. GG's to Martin, and we'll see if we can get him in here for an interview.
But what if he's already here?
Well, hey, GG's. Amazing race there.
I'm sneaky like that. Hi!
GG's, Martin. First question I gotta ask you.
Yep.
How much do you love the last arm chest?
You know, me and Eyeballs, we have a thing. You know, for anybody that's played me understands. We have a thing. And, boy howdy did that work out.
Yeah, I was going to ask, and we had kind of talked about this leading up to when you got that crystal sword. What is Martin Zeromus' plan? Is it Rydia and friends? Or is it something else entirely? What was your plan?
That was originally the plan, and as you saw, my heart rate hit probably about $160 after I almost lost that D money grind. So I cut that like 1 or 2 dragons short of where I needed to be, so Rydia was a hair short of nuke at that point. But I'd rather not tempt fate in that fight and cost myself 10 minutes, so I'm like, I just need to leave. But I have Yang with the Thunderclaw. I'll punch the eyeball on the way out just to make myself feel better. And yeah, change of plans.
Yeah. So you're saying that the Yang with 160 health left and everybody else dead staring a D machine in the face was a little scary on your end?
Yeah, that had issues. I had legitimate concerns at that point. You know, I'm glad I bought a couple Cure 3s when I saw them because they came in handy. But yeah, not my finest D money moment. But after seeing the gauntlet at Mist Cave and looking at the objectives, and it's like, okay. And then we found Wyvern, and it's like, okay. Early Darkness. Okay. It's like, I'm taking the first 5 I find and zoom off to the giant. Yes.
It turned out to be the good play, because once you saw the entire seed there pretty much, I can understand, get the grind and clear everything out.
Yeah, I'm okay with running chemists. I obviously Ed's a chemist. The regret was real when I saw that Rosa. I had a thought like, can I get her enough experience to actually be like more functional than anybody in my party right now? No. So that one hurt to leave her behind, but it was for the good of the team.
Yeah, not often do you turn down a Rosa. The only time is like with you near the end of your run.
Yeah, right. It's like, no, I have a Poram at level 50. No, I have a Tella and an Edward. And a Sura that sometimes is questionable in the best of moments. So,
Sir, you did not have an Edward. You had Swalward.
dude,
He was so swole.
That was so great. I'm like, I saw like, God, what was it? It was like 58 levels by the time I was done. I'm like, okay, yep, he won't die. That's good until I put a crystal sword in his head. But oops, sorry about that.
To be fair, you needed to kick things.
He was interfering with my kick, okay? So he had to go. I brought him back, though. He was useful for the Z fight, so...
So early on in the seed, you're sitting there and you're looking at this Rydia, and you immediately see Sylph. And then you start playing around and looting, and there ends up being a Leviathan Orb, and there's a Charm Rod, and there's all this Rydia stuff. I know that you certainly can make Rydia work. You've definitely done it before. How hard were you planning on just leaning into Rydia percent early game? Before even thinking about like Cecil and other characters, was it just Rydia and go, or were there other thoughts kind of whirring around in your head?
Rydia was going to power my early game. I usually have a routine of, Eblin into, work my way up north and look. And Ogopogo obviously have different designs on my life the first time around. But yeah, basically get ready enough MP for Sylph, get through Hobbs, and then lean on Leviathan and just blow up the entire overworld. But yeah, Wyvern, Darkness, Crystal, Hook. It's like, oh, well, I guess I don't have to lean on her too hard. Now I have a different plan in mind.
So I wanted to ask, because you alluded to wanting to get MP for Sylph and MP for Lydia. Is that what predicated the Mistcave check, or was there something else behind that?
No, that's just a habit I do. A lot of my runs, like if I'm going to Eblin, I'll route north and check Mistcave just because I don't know. I've had times where Baron will distract me with a shiny Earth Crystal or something, and then you forget Mistcave, and then you find out Mistcave had your go mode, and you lose by 30 minutes and you hate life. So I just kind of route that one in early, so I don't have to worry about it in the future. So between that and Waterfall, I know those two will never burn me in my routing. So I was honestly expecting, ironically, Dr. Luggage until I realized, wait, no, he was the starter. And this is a delay. Wait a minute. Hold on. And then the little larva showed up. I'm like, you've got to be joking me right now. Wyvern's got to be buried somewhere nasty. No, he's just 3 bosses away. So...
Yeah, well, you are moving on to the round of 16.
That feels weird. That feels really weird. Like I was perfectly fine with after last tournament and going 3-3 in Lolly Ho and just barely missing brackets, and then hitting top 16 qualifiers and actually getting to the top 16 in the tournament is just... I would have been fine today, bowing out of the tournament. I mean, I would have gotten my free time back. Now I have to face either Zilch or CNC, which, yeah, great. Heart rate right back up at 160 again. This is wonderful.
Well, and thank you for music. Chat appreciates it. We appreciate it. So thank you for doing that as well post game.
That's at least, I mean, a 2000 HP bard and music. I mean, I'm sorry I couldn't appease everyone with a tie, but the game obviously had different ideas today.
All right. Well, I think I've stolen a lot of the airtime here from asking questions. Bahamut, did you have any other questions for Martin before we let him do a victory lap and enjoy the rest of his evening?
Yeah, I'm sure I think of that, but I think you asked some really good ones. But so I just want to say GG's again. Congrats on moving on to the next round, and good luck with your next match. It's like I said, it sounds like you've really improved since earlier this year. So good job, and good luck with future matches.
Well, thank you to both of you. Obviously, thank you to Future Man and Phineas for pushing the buttons, and Harumph for rolling this. Whatever this was. I was fully expecting a required D-Dot mist, and instead we get Super Jet. So thank you obviously to the viewers. Thank you everyone for coming out and watching this. This was a blast. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this one back and seeing what y'all say about both of us. So, and also please go follow Rex. Rex is... I've taught Rex a lot of what he knows, and God, is he improved so much. When I drafted this bracket, I wanted a rematch with Ground Flyer because we had a very fun race in Lolly Ho, and Rex can do some very silly things, and I figured he would probably sneak one off on me, which he did, and I figured it'd be a really good match. So I'm glad. Ironically, I'm glad it went to 3 games. I'm sorry it didn't go to 4. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go relax. So, y'all have fun commenting the rest of this, and take care of yourselves. Have a good evening.
You too. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah, thanks.
GG's again, Martin.
Thank you, sir.
GG. So we got Rex still trying to find either uh, the football gauntlet or his adamant crystal, which he still hasn't. So we'll see. He's got some more things. He's got Earth Crystal. He's got the Pan. Or see if maybe he'll remember to check the Mist Cave. We'll see what his next move is.
Yeah, and we have a lot of knowledge now from the spoiler log on Martin's side. We know that the Adamant Rock is at the top of Tower, so Keyless Tower having goods yet again in the tournament. But Rex did pick up the Tower key, so maybe that will drive him to that Keyless Tower sooner than later. That would be really good for Rex, obviously. Probably sitting there wondering if he's watching the race room, what did I miss? Knowing now that he's cleared the whole moon, he's probably figuring it wasn't up here. And thinking, okay, what spots do I need to go over? It's almost one of those things now, you really don't even want to check Mist Cave. Like, you just want to get the forge done now. Because if you check Mist Cave, it's probably going to feel even worse than just finding the key items naturally. So it looks like Rex is headed to the tower, though. So I think he is on the right path now. And plus, we get to see the forge shop if this plays out.
That's true. But yeah, nice, good call on his next play.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a lot with Rex, and it's pretty logical to take the 2 key item checks as well. My hope is that he doesn't do something cheeky here, like a half tower play, thinking, oh, I got the tower key, I'll just go, do the half tower. I hope he goes top of tower, and gets all the value he's looking for. Looks like he is going to the super cannon room first, though. So hopefully he does go to the top. Looks like we have King Queen Eblin hanging out in the super cannon room.
Unfortunate spot for a free boss, but no matter what it is, he's got play levels, so it's no problem.
Yeah, I don't actually think there's anything there that could kill him unless the controller was set down.
Right. But yeah, I would say that you talk about like maybe doing something cheeky, but I don't know. I imagine we like to get the tower key. I see him going to go and check the boss. There's and like I said, hopefully he does, and once he does, then he'll be able to. Or okay, maybe not. Maybe he is going to do cheeky.
I wonder if it's a situation where Rex does not watch the race room. So he may not know that Martin's finished. He may not have any idea about it. So he may be saying, okay, let me just go through, do my checks. I feel like I might be behind or ahead or whatever the reason is. But Rex may just be doing what he thinks he needs to win. He may think, if the value was at the top of tower, Martin would have already done it, and I would have already lost. So let me go and do this check and get whatever's here and go from there. So it may be one of those things where it's a metagame versus opponent thing, more so even than a race spot thing or watching a race room.
That's a good point. Unfortunately, it was just a pass, but I could see like if that was adamant, then that would save some time without having to go to the top of the tower.
Definitely, and he did get a pass at least from the super cannon room, so that's going to be fantastic. He'll be able to get through to the final fight to Zeromus a little bit faster. Once we find out maybe what these pan checks are, he'll be driven back to the tower, hopefully, or maybe checking Mist Cave, or might go to Earth Crystal or Sealed Cave. We shall see. But sharing some sentiments from chat here as well. Regardless of how this turns out, whatever the margin of victory is, Rex, you are amazing. The community loves you. We love you. And, if you're watching this back and if you're feeling a little bit down, don't. You are absolutely amazing at this, and you're an amazing person too. So represent yourself well, and we all look forward to seeing you in future tournaments too.
You said it perfectly. You're great, Rex. Job well done.
And looks like we have Rex headed in to turn in the pan. What do we have left? I guess the Baron key is really the only non-terminal key item at this point that Rex could find. I'm not certain where it is. I don't remember that part of the spoiler log, but maybe we'll find it now.
That's a good point. I wasn't looking at the spoiler log. There it is.
So Rex has everything available to him now, basically. It's just a matter of where he decides to go.
And I know everyone's hoping that he's, checks the mist cave or goes back to the tower.
Yeah, Baron Key, as Chad is pointing out, might direct him to Mist Cave. Tower could just be alluring. Looks like he is opting for the Tower of Zot, though. I doubt we'll get a treasury check, so no rate that treasury. Makes sense, he has Excal Cecil and a Rosa with 2,700 health. I would also not touch that treasury at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I remember mentioning that earlier in our race that would another really good item that you would normally check, except if it was at the end of the race.
Yeah. And there's really only one thing that even helps the team at this point, and that's a Crystal Sword instead of an Excal. And there's not that high a chance of it being in the treasury, so I think it's right to skip it here.
Mm-hmm.
It would be good for Rex if Demas showed up in this tower as well, because that might also drive him back towards Mist Village and then possibly the Mist Cave.
That's very true, and because we have not seen Mist yet, so we got 2 checks here, so we're hoping for him.
Yeah, and it makes sense from Rex's perspective to go ahead and check out the Tower of Zot here. It is 2 boss checks, and there's not many places left that are going to give 2 boss checks. Baron would, but we know the Gauntlet's not in the first spot. Luca's only 1. Top of Tower's only 1. So he's figuring that this Tower of Zot check, you get 2 bosses and you get a key item check. And in Rex's position, he's making all the right plays.
Very much.
It's just,
I very much agree.
Yeah, just not going to work out this time.
Yeah, with that in mind, if there isn't Mist in the second boss here, Baron might be the next play, because there is 3 boss checks, because you have... Oh no, I forget. Who was the first boss? Because I always forget to look at the beginning of the seed.
I think it was Dr. Luge.
Okay, so then yeah, that's 2.
I'm not certain on that.
Okay, so there's 3 in general, unless you know what the first boss is, because there is Odin in the basement.
Yes.
And looks like our 2 characters, the Eddie and a Palom.
Well, those are 2 characters that exist at this spot.
Exactly.
That's about how Rex is going to feel about them, as they get very quickly yeeted. Hopefully not off of the tower, but out of the party.
Looks like we got Yang here. Would be probably take out HP wise before the script with Cecil. So pretty easy here. Unfortunately, not Dragon Mist. So once this is done, we'll see what Rex goes for next. But like we're saying, that I would think if I was him, I would probably do Baron next.
Yeah, I like the Baron play as well. It makes sense. It's another spot with 2 open bosses and a key item check. So from Rex's perspective, again, it certainly makes sense. Plus, the convenient part is you finish the Tower of Zot. Where do you land? Baron.
Exactly. That's a good point.
So yeah, it definitely works and makes sense from a routing perspective. So I definitely like that from Rex as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and if you needed more power for your Rosa, there is a life staff. So that life staff going to let Rosa cure 4 for even more.
As they say from from Home Improvement. More power. Oh.
Yes, more power indeed. Yep, and as you had speculated on, Bahamut, there is Baron being investigated now by Rex. We know that unfortunately there is no value here, since the Adamant Rock is top of tower and the Gauntlet is Mistcave. But it's always a little therapeutic to be able to just decimate the bosses in your path, and that is what's about to happen to this Baron Castle. It is going to be liberated, then some.
Very quickly liberated. Step Lively in chat just made a good point that once he does get to Z, Z is going to go down very quick, for sure.
Yeah, we saw Marten take out Z pretty quickly. Rex is going to do even more bad things to Zeromus. He's going to have a lot of extra firepower in his party. He has that Rosa, he has that Rydia. They're both going to have Nuke and White. So once the boys are zerked up, they're going to be just absolutely destroying that Zeromus. And you're going to see Nukes and Whites flying as well. Probably see one big bang, and then the fight's going to end. It's going to be really bad for Z.
I was kind of hoping. I saw that he was just using attack on with all the characters, including with Rosa with the life staff. And I was kind of hoping for her to take out Luge there, but unfortunately not quite enough. Still a decent chunk of HP, but not enough.
Oh, and Rex is going to see this blue robe and think, did I find it? Did I find it? And unfortunately, it's just going to be a water hag.
Oh no. Well, it's free, but that's not what you're looking for.
Well, the worst part is it's actually slower than most bosses at this point, because you have to hit it 3 times and you have to go through and wait for all the script and the talking. So it's like a double feels bad at this point, because it's not the boss you want and it's slow.
Which is unusual, because usually it's the fast one because it's just 3 hits. But
yes.
At this point, yeah. He's probably just thinking, gotta get through this quickly. Why is it going down faster? Gotta move on. So imagine right when this is done, you can go and check the basement right away.
And this is where, proximity-wise, he is close to Mistcave, so I wonder if he's going to peek it. Oh, hey, Vanilla Sid. Well done to our restreamer, giving us some French vanilla and vanilla here. So good job, Harumph. Again, doing a fantastic job on the restream, and Infinius doing a fantastic job pushing all the buttons, being able to keep up with Rex at a furious pace right now, collecting them all.
Indeed.
And again, huge shout outs to both of our runners. Marten Broadcloak, our winner this evening, moving on to the round of 16, was able to find a Mist Cave Gauntlet and get into go mode at about the 24-minute mark, or no mode anyway, where he knew everything he needed to do to win the seed. Rex has faded that Fabul Gauntlet check in the Mist Cave, and that's really the only difference in this race. As Rex locates the pink tail, Rex was actually ahead on early checks. He was about 2 to 3 bosses up on progression, but he was unable to check that Mist Cave, and that has made all the difference in this this match between Rex and Marten.
Indeed. So yeah, we're all hoping that hopefully its proximity is close, or if Odin here is missed, just gonna hopefully click in his something for him to click to go and check that Mist Cave.
Well, that is going to be Mylon Z, as we have seen the zombie dance party. I believe that was Mylon and Friends. So that is going to be an instant reset. Rex is making the play to head to Mist Cave, and my fear at this point is that when Rex sees this, there are going to be words, and none of them are going to be allowed on Restream.
Yeah, I
Because
would be that way too.
yes, that's how I would be. And yeah, this is one where I almost wish that Rex would have been able to just get the adamant rock and never have known about this. And we would have all just kept it a secret.
I agree. But he's got his Mist Cave, and so as soon as he's got, also has the pass, so to get this and go straight to Z, and he's going to get this done real quick.
Yeah, this is going to be over in just a couple of moments. The gauntlet's going to go down, and then Rex will be using on in to the final fight with the final boss, Zemus, and he will be through this seed, which has done a bit of a troll job on him. As you can see, Rex will have had, 14 out of 17 key items by the time he's done with this. And we know that the rest of them are all very accessible to him, but, not the same 5 key items that we see on Marten's side.
Indeed. And at first he was just doing regular attacks, but now he's, I saw he hit with Virus to take these enemies down a little bit faster.
Yeah,
But imagine what's going through his mind. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say any AoE is good AoE here. You just want to be done with this. Now you're just thinking, ugh, I'm frustrated. Let me just kill everything I can as much as I can. Gets an Hourglass 1 drop. That is I think 12.5% drop from the imps. So that's a pretty darn rare drop. But yeah, go ahead, Bahamut.
Oh, I was just saying, I know you just whacked away for a little bit. I'd probably be that way too. I'm like, just get this done, whack, do whatever to kill these things, and not really thinking about, being efficient, just trying to get through as fast as possible. So I understand. I would be frustrated too.
Looks like Rex is doing his final preparation for the Zemus fight. We know whose butt it is. Rex does not know whose butt it is. Rex is going to be the one who is acting like a dragon here, not Maleficent. And I, for one, am looking forward to seeing how fast Rex is able to get through this, because it is going to be ugly for Zemus.
Very much. I'm looking forward to it too.
Rex using the pass, heading on through. Get your Z flags out for Rex. And let us see if Rex opts for hybrid, if he wants to just go reflect and say, haha, I might have an Excalibur, but I don't want to use it. If he decides, whatever he decides, Berserk, hybrid, reflect, he has the options to do all of it.
Oh, yeah, he can do whatever strat he wants and he'll be fine.
He could probably even do 1200 strats at this point. 1200 strats with 3 characters over 2800 health. This is what it is. There is the Crystal, and there is Maleficent. We have a Starville going up on Rydia. We have a Berserk going out on Cecil. We have a Shake already from Z. This is a quick little Zemus on Rex's side. I wonder if he's still at battle speed 1, or if he has turned down his battle speed at all. Ooh, that's a little scary. That was an unnerved Big Bang there.
Yeah, I got the Silk Up web not soon enough there, but hopefully get everyone back up and Cecil, berserking away here. Hopefully keep that going for a bit. He's doing a lot of damage with Cecil at least.
Yeah, doing a ton of damage for sure. Looks like he's going to get this Rosa back up. Probably try to get a Cure 4 off with her, but this Zemus is humming. Get into the Q, Rosa, and get into the Q now. We need a Cure 4. That is not a Cure 4. That is not good. Speedy Zemus. I think... Yeah, that is going to be a reset from Rex. He's going to hop on back into this Z fight. Maybe lower the battle speed a smidge here.
I wasn't sure if we know what Rydia's agility is at.
He's got an assassin dagger on her, so I assume she's somewhere around like 28 or 30. But with only one berserker in the queue and no Silk Web that came out early enough, the fight kind of got away from him a little bit there, since that first Big Bang didn't get nerfed. So a little bit unfortunate there. It would be very understandable if Rex were on a little bit of tilt from finding that Miss Cave Fabul Gauntlet and being like, "Oh man, I'm super nervous. I'm very concerned." But we hope that Rex is able to get it together and get through on this attempt.
Definitely. But props to him for sticking out and finishing the seed.
Yeah, definitely.
While Rex is doing this next attempt here, I want to do another shout out to a restream team, with Harump doing the restreaming and Infinius doing pushing the buttons, and also shout out to you, Pasu, for being my co-commentator. You've done a wonderful job tonight. It's been a pleasure commentating with you.
Well, thank you, Bahamut. I know this is one of your first few times doing comms still, but I think that you are doing an amazing job at it. I want to make you fully aware of that, that I have worked with a number of folks, and this has been extraordinarily smooth. So I want to thank you for being a great co-commentator as well.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. I love this community. I love this community, and I'm trying to volunteer as much as I can for this tournament. So I've had a wonderful time helping out with this tournament.
Yeah, it's always a blast. I honestly have just as much fun doing commentary and helping behind the scenes, even with tracking, which a lot of folks are like, oh, it's just tracking. No, tracking is the hardest dang job. You have to pay attention to two things at once and not misclick and not defocus for an entire race. So shout out to Infinius and everyone who does the tracking.
Most definitely. I would definitely agree with that. You do have to pay attention 100% all the time. And I admit I've missed a couple times, so it is definitely difficult to be a tracker. So yes, shout out again. That's a great job.
Yeah. And speaking of that, if anybody out in the audience, whether you are a racer or free enterprise or not, if you would like to become a member of the Restream team, if you would like to help with restreaming, if you would like to do commentary, if you would like to track, you are more than welcome to join the Restream team. We're always accepting folks in. Go ahead and put in an application. Basically, it's not like a job application or anything serious. It's just, hey, what role do you want? What kind of skills do you think you would really bring to the table for this Restream gig? You tell us you want to do comms, great. You tell us you want to track, awesome. You want to restream, even better. We're always looking for folks to help, so don't be shy. We are very welcoming. Anyone is allowed in. They're letting a possum do commentary, for goodness sakes. If that's not welcoming, I don't know what is. And meanwhile, it looks like Rex is deep in the throes of this Zemus fight, going far, far better the second time around, absolutely cratering this Malefimus as we expected. Gonna take a big bang here, likely gonna have Cecil, Rosa, and Yang alive, and that is totally fine. That's all he needs to win this fight.
You took the words out of my mouth. So I think he's still good here, especially if both goes up. So he's still doing good. And Asuka makes a good point. You are a wonderful commentator, Pasu.
Well, it's like they say, better lucky than good, right? I'm just going to keep riding that good luck train and try not to get kicked off for silly comments about kicking butts.
Big Bang's, he's able to survive these Big Bangs. Still going a little fast, but at least he does have enough HP to still survive them, and he's still walking away, so that's good.
Yeah, one of the things kind of about Free Enterprise, Rosa is incredibly good. A 2700 HP Rosa cannot die to a Big Bang. A 2700 HP Rosa can also heal one or two other people to full health, almost regardless of what she's wearing. So Rosa is the ultimate facilitator, and she is kind of the glue that makes a lot of parties stick. And this fight is a prime example of it, that even when your reflect strats kind of fall off, Rosa's just going to make sure everyone's preserved up, that they're cured up, and just going to carry it home. And that's why Rosa is bae.
Indeed, I very much agree. And we got rocks for Rex. Very, like we thought, quick boss here.
Yeah, one more cure coming out. My guess is that is the last input we're going to see from Rex. It's just going to be Cecil and Young beating on Zeromus. Looks like there will be no more beating, as Zeromus has been defeated. Rexbanner finishing second place this evening, the time of 1:53.37. GG's to Rex on another heck of a run in a tournament, and we'll see if we can get him in for an interview as well.
Hello, Rex. GG's. How are you doing?
I've had time to cool down, so not bad. Geez, to you folks, thanks for sitting that out. Yeah, I think that was a prime example how not to run a seed.
Hey,
Actually,
just want to say props for Ace. Yeah, props for finishing up the seed there. You are a wonderful runner. It's been great, so much fun watching you. But yeah, what was your thought when you entered the Mist Cave?
They are not repeatable on Free Enterprise. I am sorry.
That's totally fair.
yeah, that is as expected and totally fair. Rex, you actually, and I just want to make you aware, you'll be able to watch it back and you'll know it later, but for most of the early game on this, you were ahead by 2 to 3 boss checks. You ran a phenomenal... The big difference was that Mist Cave, but I don't want you to let that get you down. You did a heck of a job. You were outpacing Martin early on, left, right, and center. And I want you to take that with you, to know that you went up against an incredibly tough competitor, and outside of one very minor thing, you were ahead of him for the entire portion that you could have been ahead of him.
That's good to know. Martin is someone I respect. He's someone that he's the one that got me interested in Free Enterprise, is watching him and then, playing seeds that he did that got me started with this. But I knew Martin is generally quicker at me in a heads-up race. I generally do not stand a chance, and when I saw that Darkness Crystal and I knew Tella was in the inn, I threw a lot of logic out and just started rushing. I normally check that Mist Cave and Waterfall, and I don't know why. It's just, I know when I saw Darkness, I got panicky, because 9 out of 10 races, I will not beat Martin in the foot race. He is far more efficient than I am.
Yeah, I think chat brings up a very good point here, that the percentages would indicate that you made a lot of the right plays, and the seed just did not follow those percentages this time around. But this is your second top 32 in a row, if I'm not mistaken, in tournaments. You are becoming a mainstay in these events, Rex. Just wanted to congratulate you on another great run. Through one of these, you are quite the fearsome competitor, sir.
Well, thank you. It's because of the community. Everyone's always willing to help out. You're able to learn a lot. Like I said, I've learned lots from Martin. I've learned lots from you, Commander, Oscar, like anyone. Like they're the whole community's been really good at helping with any issues you have. And by watching everyone, you're able to pick up little things that everyone's capable of doing.
Definitely. And Rex, I did want to ask, now that your tournament run sadly has come to an end without a game four, which I know y'all wanted and we wanted, what's your plans? Are you going to keep grinding for Enterprise? Going to do some ladder? Going to do some other games? Where are we going to see you around? And is it going to be here?
Oh, it will probably still be around the free enterprise. Like I'll still probably be trying to pop into louder when I can. Definitely got other games too, but majority you'll probably see a lot of free enterprise yet. Just more time in the ladder.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear you're still going to be around. I know myself and so many others adore watching you and getting to interact with you on a daily, sometimes daily, but definitely multi-weekly experience with you. So we appreciate what you do as well.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate what you all do, especially tonight for the commentary. The button pressing in the restream, I think it was Harumph on restream, Infinius pressing the buttons from the future, and then you and Bahamut for the commentary. It's always a wonderful thing after the finish one of these races to be able to watch it back.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's about all the questions I got for you, Rex. Bahamut, you got any questions for our runner-up this evening, Rexbanner?
I think he did a really great job. I can't think of anything else. Again, GG's Rex. Great race. Unfortunately, you didn't land with as you did, but I agree that you did the percentage checks really well. So I wish you well in future seeds, future races, and GG's again. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and weekend.
Alrighty, thank you, folks, and you have a good evening as well. This was a fun. Looking forward to the next tournament.
Definitely. GG's again, Rex. Thank you for letting us watch you as always.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and with that, that will conclude this match between Marten Broadcloak and Rexbanner. Marten moving on to the round of 16 with a 2-1 series score total. But that is not all of the free enterprise this evening. Bahamut, I am told that we are going other places. Is that correct?
Yes, it looks like we are going to send off our raid off to Nirvana, who looks like they are running a ZZ4 seed. So let's go raid them and say hi and get to watch some more Free Enterprise tonight.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to some more Free Enterprise tonight. And make sure y'all stay tuned because tomorrow it looks like we also have a couple of restreamed matches at 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern, if my eyes are telling me correctly. So make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for those restreamed matches. Just because we're done on Saturday does not mean we're done for the weekend. So y'all enjoy Nirvana's, no spoiler, or you get the bonk, and everybody have yourselves a fantastic rest of your evening.
Take care, everybody.